Once again, welcome everyone. As I said earlier, this program is recorded. If you're not comfortable being on camera, please turn off your camera. We'll be starting in 1 minute time. We always give 10 minutes for people to log in. And yeah, once again, I want to appreciate you for joining. You can share this program with family and friends. This is a free project and it's for us to learn a new skill or improving our previous skill. Today we'll be doing hair bonnets. Good evening, everyone. It's 10 after 7. We'll be starting now. I want to welcome everyone to Ebony Ambassador Skill Empowerment Workshop on making hair bonnets. This event is sponsored by Arnold Clark Community Fund and is for us to engage people through the pandemic. Sorry for the noise on the background. It's to engage sorry about the noise. I'm just trying to keep my environment as calm as I can because we're doing this in the comfort of my home. So the noise at the background is kind of affecting what I'm doing at the moment, but sorry about that. We'll be introducing the facilitator very shortly, but I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, which are Arnold Community Fund. They made this project possible today. And we have our facilitator today who will be taking us on how to make hair bonnets. And she is Abby and Farm Creative Zone. She's known for what she does with her hands. She is very, very creative. And I know that today we'll all go home being able to make a hair bonnet. I'm ready as well. I've got my material. You can see my tape on, ready to join the practical as well. So it's my pleasure now to introduce Abby and Farm. Abby and Farm, over to you.
Hi everyone, good evening, good evening. One of the things I say on my workshop, I'm very hands-on, so you'll hear my voice and I hope everyone can hear me loud and clearly, but you might not see my face because I'm gonna focus my camera down onto my table so everyone can see what I'm doing with my hands. I hope and pray that everyone gets what I'm about to teach. One of the things I will say to everyone on board today is relax. Relax and take it on board. And there is no competition on this. I am not looking for the fastest person. I will repeat myself if I have to 10 times. Don't feel a way that, oh, I don't get it. You will get it. You will be making a bonnet today. So I'm gonna stop talking and just focus my camera down onto my table. That's fine. So the hair bonnet we're gonna make, let me just grab one. I've got one here with me, and the good thing about this hair bonnet is the African print is outside, If you don't want to use African print, you can use satin outside and satin inside. But I just like the method of where it brings a bit of culture and bit of back home material in my life. So I like the African print ones. And inside of it, so it's a reversible one. It's in and out. You can see that's it there. And that's how it looks. So one of the things that I believe I've been told, satin is really good for our texture of hair. So at night you put on the satin, and if you're, you know, doing nothing at home and you just want to have your hair out, you can have your African print out. If I'm talking too fast or you don't understand the word I'm saying, just say, Abby, slow down, because sometimes I've been told I speak very fast. But so far, so good. This is what we are making. This is the aim. Whatever material you'll be working with is what we've got. But I thought I will make a little things easier for you guys. So we've got a piece of paper, which I'm just gonna show you what we're doing first. So with our African print, I'm gonna call this one, okay, the paper, the size of our African print, everyone has a yard each, a yard of satin and a yard of 1 yard of African print, and that's 36 inches. For this hair bonnet we're making, we only need 29 inches on one side and 29 inches on the other side. Now, in the sewing world, they would have said 29 by 29. But this is a beginner's class, and if you've never sewn before, I might be speaking gibberish. So that's why I said, so on one length of your material, which I'm just going to get mine now and show you what I mean. So this is my material. And it will make sense. One of the things I've learned when I started to learn how to sew is I highly respect sewing mistresses. When they ask me to pay £200 for a dress, I will first go, and then I'll think about, okay, they've got to add this, they've got to add that. So what I want you guys to do is get your measuring tape out, and you can see what I'm doing here, and just measure 29 inches on your tape, on your African print. If you're brave enough, which I wouldn't, I trust most of you anyway, if you can cut out 29 inches on your length and then 29 inches on the other side, if that makes sense, and then you'll have something like this. So both my materials are 29 by 29. Is that clear to everyone? So let's assume this white sheet of paper here is your African print. I would like you to measure this side 29 inches, and then your breadth side too, I would like you to measure 29 inches. Is everyone clear about that? Just give me a thumbs up.
Done.
Okay. Irene said done. Everyone else is done?
I'm not done. Could you please repeat what you said for me?
Okay. So I guess that was Esther. So
No,
Esther, if you
Priscilla.
Priscilla, okay. Priscilla, if you can get your material and get your tape measure, and I would like you to measure 29 inches on the top and then 29 inches by the side, and then cut that out on both your satin and your African print. So if you've done the African print, please go back and do the satin too, because the material, we're going to sandwich them together like this.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. We're going to sandwich them together like this. Okay? So let's do that first. And I'm just gonna put African print on the top here. So I know this is my African print. And then I'm gonna put satin at the bottom of this one. And it's just for me to guide. And this I'm gonna put, I don't know if we call it the main side or the right side. I'm gonna call it the right side on the African print, and then also the right side. And this will make sense when we start cutting and stuff. This I'm just gonna put the back, and then I'm putting back on. You guys don't have to do all this. This is just for me while I'm talking. Okay, so once we've done that, I'm gonna do it with the paper first, so it's clear for everyone. So 29 on your length and 29 on your breadth. And that's all I want you to do at the moment. How are we getting on?
Not so good.
Oh, what's wrong, Priscilla? Is it Priscilla again?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want you get your tape measure, right? And if you look at mine, I've got from 1 to 29, right? And how old are you actually, if you don't mind me asking? Reason being, I'll tell you in a minute. So we might make your hat a little bit smaller.
8.
Oh, you're 8. So, okay, I would say for someone of your age, if you can cut a 22 instead of a 29. So if you are a young person and you're under, if you're under 12, I would ask you to cut 22 on the top and 22. So adults, you are cutting 29 by 29. Young, beautiful young ladies, you are cutting 22. Does that make sense?
Abby, somebody just said cut out a square, so they should know that it's a square shape that they are cutting out.
Yeah, I mean, by the time, if you cut it this way, right? So if you cut, let's say this is 22. If you cut 22 this side and then 22 this side, that automatically becomes a square. If that makes sense. I will repeat myself 50 times if I have to, but don't take the mic, because but I will if just for me to explain. So if you cut, if I get my tape measure, and let's assume I'm cutting for the young people, I'm cutting 29. So all you do is cut 29 here and then cut 29 here, right? And then cut it out as a square, as Irene said. How's everyone getting on? 29 by 29 for adults and 22 by 22 for young, beautiful ladies. Or if there's any men on, I don't know. I don't think so anyway. How are we getting on?
We're cutting it out.
Okay. So both the satin, and one of the things I've noticed about satin is that it moves around. So the moment you've cut it together, the moment you've cut them together, we're gonna pin them, but I'm gonna tell you how to pin them in a moment. Was that a question? Irene, if there's a question, please let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And I must admit, Christmas is coming up. So from what Sister Victoria taught us on the first class of how to measure up, this is part of measuring now, measuring up. So if you missed the first class, please contact Irene, and I believe it was recorded, and then you can go and watch how to measure things up. Also, last week We did the skirt, which was really good. Christmas is coming up, and one of the things I've learnt myself is that as much as I produce things and I make things up for people, I don't like buying stuff, somebody else's stuff, not in a bad way, but I also want to promote myself. So hair bonnets is a gift that you can give to someone for Christmas. They would use it. If they've got hair or no hair, they will wear a bonnet to bed. So it's something, and the skirts are something you could actually make a matching skirt and a bonnet together and give it to them as a gift. And also the top we made. For me, I think it's been a really good session. So how is everyone getting on? Should I move on or should I wait? I'll give you a couple of more minutes. For adults, it's 29 inches, and for young, beautiful ones, it's 22. The young ones could actually do 29, but I believe the hat will be too big, so then they wouldn't be able to wear it themselves. They'll have to end up giving it to mum or auntie. So if you want to keep it for yourself, but once you've made one, you can make more.
Do you need to add any inches to it?
No, we're not. No adding inches at the moment or anything. Trust me. Just cut out 29 by 29.
What I mean by that is like sewing seam.
No, I know what you meant, darling. I really do know what you meant. But at the moment, we're just cutting out the material we're gonna need. And this hair bonnet, we're turning it inside out. So let's just let's wait. I have faith in you guys. How's everyone getting on? Should I continue? Has everyone cut their material?
Could you wait, please, for a minute while we finish?
No
We've
problem.
cut now. We have cut 2 pieces. Thank you.
Okay. Was that Priscilla?
No,
No, it was Esther.
It was Esther. Esther, okay. You've got 2 pieces in your hand, so
yeah.
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 Listen,
Satin.
as I said in the beginning, I'm not looking for a competition. It's not a winning competition. The whole point is at the end of the day, everyone needs to make a bonnet. That's the whole point. So if you've got 2 pieces, 29 by 29 for the adults and 22 by 22 for the children, I want us to move on. Irene, permission to move on?
Yes.
Okay, so what I want you to do is with your African print and your satin, there's always a right side for both sides of the material. With your satin, it will be shining. And with your African print, it also would have a shine. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to put both right sides together. So these are my right sides and this is my satin right side. So I'm going to sandwich them like this. Does that make sense? I am going to sandwich the 2 right sides of my...
So if I understand, that means the 2 right sides are in each other and we'll be seeing the wrong sides, the inside.
Sides, yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah. 2 right sides facing each other. We sandwich them together like this. Okay? And once we've done that, we are going to fold. Actually, if we can get some, let's fold. Let's fold our material. So put it down. It's really good to work on a flat surface. So fold it. Fold the 2 material together like this. And fold. And just put a crease in there. And if you can get your pins out, because it's satin, satin moves around a lot. And just get your pins out and then just put a pin in the middle on the top like that. You can see my pin there, one on the top and one on the other side. Once I've done the two sides of this, flip over to the other side and literally put two pins in the middle too. This is just to secure your work so it doesn't move around. Sateen is it's a very nice piece of material to work with, but if you're not careful, because we're gonna cut a circle out of this now, I just want it to be in place. Am I making sense? Is everybody good to go? How are we getting on, my little angels? Is it Esther and Priscilla who are the young ones online here?
Yes.
Yes. How are you guys getting on? You guys come first.
We're getting on good, thank you.
Good, good, good. I like to hear that. And what about my other elderly angels? How are you guys getting on?
Getting on well because I'm doing my as well.
Okay. I've got Sarah from Manchester, who I know very well. Is a very good friend of mine, a sister from another mother. She's online. I've got a couple of friends online too today, which is good. Can't see everyone, but how's everyone getting on?
Cool.
So you got a couple of new guests there, Irene.
Yeah, we're waiting for the next stage.
Okay.
I'm just cutting the setting right now.
Okay, so we've got Yabo online too. So once we've done that, Yabo, I'll come back to you. Once you've done that, I would like you also again. So we folded into two, and now we're gonna fold the third one. Okay, I would like you to fold into four. So literally now we folded it again. And the first pin, one of the pins should be here and one of the pins should be at the back. And if you open it up, you should have two pins. That will secure your satin from moving away. Now, one of the things I've done here, this is very important, ladies. This is very important. I've kind of like just marked this place here. And the reason why I marked it is we are going to measure from this place. So let's assume you're holding your material is like a book, right? It's like a book. So I open it, I close it. The top bit here is not loose like the rest. Whatever you do, don't cut from here. So here I'm gonna say, do not cut. Okay, can you see that? So you can see from the top here, do not cut, right? And what we're gonna do now is, I'll give you 2 minutes or 1 minute to finish up doing that. How's everyone getting on?
Good.
Good, I like to hear that. While we're waiting, you can go and thread your needle. While we're waiting, thread your needles, if you haven't done that already. Now, I'm not a, what can I say? I'm a self-taught sewing mistress. So I self-taught myself. Most of everything I do, I've self-taught myself. One of the things I say to you is, have a pair of scissors for your paper and have a pair of scissors for your material. Please do not use the same type of scissors for material, for fabrics. It will just dent in the end or make it blunt, and you wouldn't really enjoy. Scissors last a very long time if it's kept very, very well. If I now take my fabric scissors to cut this paper, I'm gonna ruin them. And I won't notice for about maybe 2-3 months, but all I know, it would not be sharp on cutting materials anymore. So just a little bit of advice if you are gonna get into it. Should I move on, Irene?
Yeah, I think we are all working on the material.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna switch over to my material in a minute, but I just want to show you what I'm doing here.
Okay.
So, where I said do not cut is where we are going to measure from. So you can turn it this side. So your book looks like this, but I'm going to speak to the older people first, and then the younger girls, I'll tell you what size you can cut from. So for the older people, with the people measuring 29 inches, I would like you to measure 13 inches. And how we measure 13 inches, I will show you. So you put your tape rule down here and you measure down. And I'm gonna zoom. My 8 is my, this I'm gonna zoom. So 8, you mark it. Can you see the mark there? You keep your tape measure down with your index finger on it, and then you lift it up and you move to the side. So you're making like an angle. And then I'm gonna mark 8 all the way around on this one, which on your case, it would be 13. I'm lifting, my tape rule is still in the corner there, and I'm moving again, and I'm marking it. And I'm gonna mark all the way around. Can you see that? And once I've marked,
For a minute, sorry, please. You said 13 and then you said 8. So what are we measuring?
No. I'm on my piece of paper, I'm working with 8. On your piece of paper, I would like you guys to work with 13.
On your material, you say.
On your material, I would like you to
Okay,
work
so on
with
my
13.
material, we're measuring 13 the way you just showed us.
Yes.
Please.
Thank you.
And then the younger ones, the younger ladies, you are measuring 22. So I would like you to measure 11. 11, because you don't want the hat too small.
Are we measuring 22 or 11?
Sorry?
Are we measuring 22 or 11?
You're
11.
measuring 11. So the size of your fabric is 22 by 22. And I told you to fold it into 4. And I would like you to measure 11. And even if you don't have this ruler that I have here, you can just get, actually, I won't use my ruler. Just join it together like this. Join it together like this. Join it together like this. And then we're gonna cut. And then I'm just gonna flip over to my material. So I'm just gonna cut this. Remember, do not cut from this angle. I'm cutting from down below. And I'm just cutting round. And doesn't matter if it's not actually, it would be nice if you get it and it's actually right, the right size. And as you can see, I've cut that, and now I'll have a shape with my 2 materials like this. And what I'm gonna do now, ladies, is I'm just gonna swap over to my material and I'm gonna cut mine. Okay. And it's something, I tell you what, when you make your first one, you'll be so happy and over the moon. So with mine, I am cutting 13. And I'm just going to use my Sharpie. 13. And I'm cutting 13. 13. 13. 13. 13. And as you can see, I'm just going around.
Yeah.
I'm not moving my point.
So,
And then all I'm going to do now, join them together, and I use my ruler on this one. Get my scissors out and literally just cut around them.
Abby,
Yeah,
your satin is on top of your material, but my material is on top. Does
it
that
doesn't
really
matter.
Okay.
Either way, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, I've actually cut mine out as well. So
It's fine. It doesn't matter either it's back or, as long as you've just got, as long as they're backing each other, that's the most important thing. It doesn't
Okay.
matter if it's out or if the African print is out. I'll turn it round in a minute actually, so it just makes sense. Just try and make sure you have four pins, so when you open it up, so I've got mine now. And remember, this on my paper was do not cut. This was my do not cut. Just so Irene knows what I'm doing is we'll work with what she's got. This is my African print, and this is it. Can you see, Irene?
yeah.
Okay. But once you've pinned it down, I would like you to work from the satin, if it's okay with you. Because you can then see what you're stitching, if that makes sense.
It does.
Okay. So on your material, I just want you to mark, leave 2.5 inches open. So from here to, okay, for you guys, I'll do 3 inches. Let's do 3. If it was me, I'll do, so I want you to leave this gap open. Can you see the material I've left? So just from here, we're gonna start sewing, but you're gonna leave this. You're not gonna sew in between these 3 inches here. And we're gonna get our needle. Irene and Sister Victoria have got me using sewing needles. I love my sewing machine, but today I have to hand stitch. So we're all in this club together. And if we remember what Sister Victoria taught us, she taught us something about running stitch. So we are going to be doing some running stitches. So I would like you guys to open up your material like this. And then a running stitch is, so what you're gonna sew from the tip. Can you guys see my needle here? And just add some running stitch inside, in and out, in and out. And that's just all the way round. All the way round. Irene.
Yeah.
You know I love you.
You want to go and use your machine?
I'm telling you, but I'm not going to. Listen. I will hand stitch.
Let's hand stitch for today.
Okay, so you guys can see what I'm doing. You can make it a little bit smaller if you want to, but I'm just gonna go with this. I went with this so you guys can see what I'm stitching. Now, one of the things I've noticed in sewing is you have to use the iron. You have to, as Americans would say, on your clothes. Iron. We say in London, we say iron your clothes. Americans, they say on your clothes. I don't know what they're on, but they say on your clothes. So you need to iron this. So far, so good. But if you were making these to sell, you will have to iron each one before you finally do it. 3 inches, please. 3 inches. There was a question there. As you can see my stitches, I'm making my stitch. You can make yours a little bit smaller. I'm making this big so it can show on the video. And you can see as I'm going round now. All I'm gonna keep going in and stitching. Any questions? How is everyone getting on?
Hi.
Hello, Abby.
Yeah?
I've cut the material. That's
Yeah.
all I've got far to.
So
Do I
have
have-
you,
Do I have to
Have
put
you-
the satin one? Is it the shiny bit that's going to be showing?
so I would like you to get your shiny bit and so the shiny bit in my eyes, I call it the right side.
Okay, I've got it like that.
Yeah, and I call your African print the right side. So if you could put the right side of the satin and the right side of your African print together, so they're sandwiched up like a sandwich, both right sides together.
Yeah, I've got that.
Oh, thank you so much. You know what? My glasses are on, but whoever wrote that message, thank you so much. Irene, did you read that?
Yeah.
That is really kind. Because sometimes as a tutor, you do really want to know that, you know, what you're explaining makes sense. Iyabo, so what you need to do is get the two right sides together. You know, if I was using my sewing machine, I'll finish by now.
Exactly.
Huh?
It's therapeutic. You see how we're all busy doing what we're doing. Don't worry, you run it with your machine later.
I haven't even done half. So Yaba, put them together and I need you to fold them into 4 equally, if that makes sense. Have you actually, sorry, have you cut out 29 by 29?
Yes.
Okay, so I would like you to sandwich them together. And
Right side facing right side.
yeah, right side facing. I mean, I've heard some sewing mistresses saying put the negative side. I just think it's right side. I don't think there's anything negative about material, but you know, sewing mistresses and their terminologies is in another world from mine.
So fold it into 4.
How's everyone else getting on? Are you enjoying the sewing with your hand? If you've got a sewing machine, run the stitch afterwards.
Yes, it's good. Thank you.
It's good. See? And can I ask the young people online, is it true that you guys don't do sewing in school anymore?
I used to, but I've just moved up to secondary school and we haven't done it yet.
Oh, so you're now one of the big girls, one of the youngest. So in year 7?
Yes.
Oh, well done. Well done. You're almost there. Another 5 years. Another 5 years in secondary school, and then A levels, and then off to uni.
So 4.
Okay. So Irene, I've got to add more thread because the thread I took was not enough.
Did you just thread one needle? I thread 3 needles.
You see, you are good at threading.
Professional.
Me, I'm a professional on the sewing machine. Ask me anything regarding the sewing machine, it will be done.
We've been doing this for 3 weeks now. This is the 4th one, so you should know that.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you, I cheated in all. I used my sewing machine. That's why I finished all the dresses on time. That's a good method, though. I should have done at least. I've done half, so I'm almost there.
Abby, I've done into 4.
So into 4, and I would like you to put your. So let me get my paper again.
I think that's right.
So you've done it into 4, and I would like you to measure from your point here. So if you open up, you have a point here. Whatever you do on this side, Yabo, do not cut from this side. If you cut from this side, you're making peplons, and we're not doing peplons tonight.
Okay.
So I would like you to put your tape measure down here and measure 13 inches. And your measure on this side, your tape, let me get my tape measure and show you. You're getting your tape measure down.
Yeah.
And you're measuring 13 inches.
Okay.
Right? Watch me, Yabo. And then you put your index finger down on where 1 is. Then you move round and you measure 13 again. Then you move round and you move 13 again. You move all the way round till you get to this end, and then you draw a circle.
Okay.
When you join it together as a circle, you cut that bit out, and you're literally where we are, and you can get your needle and do the pleasure of the therapeutic stuff Irene has got me into today. Irene, I'm on your case today. I'm sorry for me to hand stitch, but I'm actually enjoying it.
I need a pin.
How is everyone getting on?
I'm halfway to sewing mine.
Let's see.
You're doing good, thank you.
Okay, some people are pro in using this needle thing. If you guys have a sewing machine, it's so easy. I would have finished. I would have made the second one by now. But my stitches are a little bit bigger than yours, and they're called running stitches, I think. My darling Auntie Vicky's online. So Victoria, are they called running stitches? Auntie Vicky's gone quiet too.
Looks like she's here and she's not here.
I'm on. No, I'm listening.
Yeah, but you didn't respond. I said they're called running stitches.
Yes.
Okay. Just cross-checking what you taught. So for you to know, I was listening the first week.
Is the other one that is the back stitch, because that one is like machine stitches.
You see?
Are we using machine?
No, we're doing running stitches.
We're doing running stitches.
Is this to hold them down first or to join everything completely?
This is to join everything completely, and then we're going to turn it inside out.
It might be better with
back stitching.
Back stitching, but the running stitches, if they're smaller, it's okay.
Yeah, that's what I use. I mean, I'm making mine big so they can see what I'm doing online.
Okay,
so
okay.
The professional has spoken. She said it's back stitches.
No, because the back stitch looks more like
it's
machine.
Smaller. Yeah, it's smaller.
So, but if you want to use running stitches, just make sure that they're smaller so that it will fit properly.
You're not giving much gap. You're close.
But yes, that's what I'm saying. You're not giving much gap.
So I'm doing my best to try and finish this off. And this is the, I would say, is it the easiest part? There's still one more stitch we're gonna do, but it's fun.
Okay, at least I'm able to cut my circle out properly. So that's
Okay.
something.
Are you still there?
The professional knows what she's doing now.
So
She's just being quiet online.
yes.
Irene, I'm almost done.
Are we sewing to close it or we're leaving gap?
Well, I asked you guys to leave 3 inches out. That's what we measured. If you remember,
Okay. Maybe
did you measure?
Oh,
Measure 3 inches at the beginning, and we're supposed to leave that gap out.
Okay.
How we would time? Okay, not too bad.
Thank everyone for joining. This is
So
Ebony
Abby and
Ambassador.
Pam, my question is, if I'm trying to make a template so that I can reuse it over and over, so should I just use like a box to make one single round template? So I won't need to be doing the square anymore.
So what I have as a template, which is not here, I
Okay.
have a template on with brown paper,
Okay.
and I have a template for my extra large. I have a template for my large. I have a template for my small and mediums, and I also have for extra large. Young teenagers or young adults love having their braids all the way down to their bottom. So they normally request an extra large, and that one is more or less like a 35 by 35. So I would cut, yeah.
Okay, well, because I think I would prefer using like a cardboard for my template.
Yes,
so
you
that
can use a cardboard. The only reason why we use brown paper is it's just easier to pin down when you're
pin down. Yes,
Yes.
you're right.
That's
Okay.
the only reason why we
Just
use
put it down.
brown paper.
Okay.
I've had a lady who has also used like newspaper. She will put newspaper together and make her pattern.
I just used newspaper now. It's that's the newspaper that I used. So cut my circle out.
I'm done sewing, Abby and Fam. And once again, I want to thank everyone for joining this mental resilience workshop sponsored by Arnold.
We are now halfway through.
Arnold Clark Community Fund. We'll wait for you, don't worry. We'll wait for you. Abby and Fam said it's not in here, so we'll wait for you. So I'm just saying thank you for joining on behalf of Ebony Ambassador, who are the facilitators, organizers of this workshop today. Thank you once again for joining. Over to you, Abby and Fam.
Okay, so we're not in no rush. I think this program actually, this workshop literally ends at 9, but I hopefully think we'll finish before 9. So I've also finished stitching round. Thank God for that. But Irene, you know I'll do anything for this lady.
You're still money. Whining on sewing with your hand. I'm loving it.
So I'm just taking out my pins on all. Yeah, but how are you getting on?
Lord have mercy. Right. Is it 3 inches sewing it around?
No, you're leaving 3
Like the
inches
gap.
on the top. Look at mine up here. I've left this open. This is 3 inches open
Oh, okay.
on the top here, and the rest I just sewed round. So open
Okay.
here is 3 inches.
Okay then. Thank you.
All right, well done. How is everyone else getting on?
Good, but we're still not done yet. Can you hold this up? I need to.
Yep.
Hold this up. Why? Because I need to get my pen.
If it's one of your friends' birthday girls, you can actually make them a hair bonnet and give it to them as a gift.
For people for Christmas.
I've seen these hair bonnets online for about from up to £15. I mean, I sell mine for £4 and £1 delivery fees, but you can get them for up to £8, £10. In the shop. In the shop, they sell the satin ones, but it's not reversible. It's one-sided. So this one is a good one because it's reversible. So while I am talking, I am going to thread my thread again, because we're going to use thread again. Still gonna mow. How's everyone getting on? Because I want us to move on and turn our material inside out.
Abby,
Has everyone nearly spoke? Yes, Yabo.
you know, can you still hear me?
I can.
Yeah, continue with your question.
Is it the shiny setting side that's going to be showing?
No.
The shiny side will be facing your right side of your African print. So the shiny side is your right side, if that makes sense.
No,
Yeah,
it
it's
doesn't.
inside.
It's
Oh, it's
inside, so
inside.
that will be inside. So the African print, shiny side, and your satin shiny side will be sandwiched together like this inside. So the right side will be inside, and the unshining of both materials will be outside.
All right, got you.
And a quick one, I just saw someone's comment. I am used to sewing machine. It's not compulsory that you use hand sewing. If you have your sewing machine, please use it to run it through. We're just encouraging those that don't have sewing machine that you could also sew with your hand. So if you have sewing machine, please use your sewing machine.
And I'll tell you, as much as I've complained all the way through, which I'm very good at complaining when I don't have my way, I went to a friend's party one time, and I remember her telling me she hasn't got a tailor to sew her material. So when she came in, I'm like, oh, finally, you got a tailor. She goes, no, I hand stitch it myself, my friend. And I'm like, it's a lie. So we went to the toilet. She said, I just sewed here on the left, I sewed on the right, and I flicked it over my shoulder. And it looks so good. So don't let hand sewing put you off. As much as I did complain about it all the way around, I've done it. And if we don't, this workshop is about what can you do during this time?
Mm-hmm.
Learn a new skill. And when you learn a skill, even if you're using it by hand sewing it, you can move on. You've got the method of how to do it now. This will be your first one, which would be your own. And then you can actually cut another one out and then sew it. So please, please, please. Abby's very good at complaining about hand sewing, but I took pleasure in doing it. It was fun. I just wanted to have a go at Irene one way or the other.
Okay, cool.
But can we move on?
Yes, please.
So what I want you to do now, what we left open, remember we left a bit open, we left 3 inches open. What we're going to do now is turn our material inside out. We're going to bring it in out. Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm flipping it in out. So I'm bringing what's inside and I'm tucking what's outside. So I can get to my material with the right side. And you can see what I'm doing here. That's all we're doing, just tucking it inside out. So I'm tucking the wrong side and bringing out my right side. And voila. And remember I said, when it comes to making or sewing, tailoring and ironing is something which is very, very important. But on this case, we're not ironing. But please, if you are making, you can see what I've done here. Now, the place that I opened is still there. Can you see that? It's still open. We'll close that in a minute. How is everyone getting on?
We are still sewing.
Okay, no problem. We still got time. It's just 4 minutes past 8. How's everyone? Everyone else, Irene, have you turned yours inside out?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I'll just give them a few minutes. Anyone else to turn theirs inside out? I'll take that as a no. Sister Victoria, the pro.
I'm taking after you.
Oh, God. Anyone else? I'm not mentioning names. Could I mention some names online and just call your names out just to ask how people are getting on? Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah.
On my screen, I'm seeing Bemi. Oh, she's now changed. Your Bemi Galaxy A50. How are you getting on?
Annie, it's Lara.
Oh, Lara, how are you?
Okay.
See, the whole crew turned up today. Well done, guys. How are you getting on?
I'm just watching.
Okay, okay. I would like to see one. I remember my birthday is next month, so you can make me one. I've got Caroline. Caroline, I don't like the numbers, so I'm not calling no numbers. So I've got Caroline online. How are you getting on?
Unfortunately, I came a little bit late, so I'm just observing.
Oh, okay. What I would do is I'll run through it again once we finish, if that's okay with you.
That'd be lovely. Thank you.
No problem. On my screen now, I have got Kate, and it's favored child. Yeah, we're all favored, you know. Not only you, we're all favored children. Kate, how are you getting on?
I'm still sewing and moving.
Oh,
Kate,
I know that voice.
Vicky.
That's still sewing.
Oh, I know that voice. Hello, Kate. How are you? I love that voice. Okay.
Machine. You can't still be sewing. You are
I'm not using my sewing machine. I'm doing the same thing with everyone else.
Yeah,
no one's cheating. The cheater is me. Okay,
we have to
Esther.
look at the health benefits of the hand sewing as well. So
yeah, it's weird when you're used to threading your needle with your machine, and then you now have to do it.
I know.
Well, let's assume we were in lockdown and you had no sewing machine needles at home, but you only had this, and you wanted to make a bonnet. You can make this.
Exactly.
Okay. Esther, is it Esther Olayemi? Is it Olayemi? Yeah. How are you getting on, darling?
I'm trying to help her sew it. We are the ones that are slow.
Okay. No problem. Keep it up. We've got Kenzie. Is it Kenzie? Kenzie Joseph? Am I right?
Yeah, I'm also observing. I came in a bit late.
Are these some of the queens online here? Because that name rings a bell. Irene, is that one of our queens?
No, but she's always in our workshops.
Okay.
several times.
Okay, we've also got Maureen. How are you getting on, Maureen? Maureen's not here. She's here. Then we've got Omomi iPhone.
I'm sorry, I joined quite late, so I'm just observing.
Okay, so for the ones who joined quite late, I'm going to try as much as I can to just run over again what we did.
No worry, it's been recorded, so you get the recorded.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So it's been recorded. So Irene will forward on the video. That's fine. We have Priscilla and Rachel. Rachel iPhone. How are we getting on? Priscilla?
Good.
Okay. Irene.
Yeah.
And we've got is it Roslyn?
Sorry, I was talking the 3 inches, so we're leaving it.
Leave it at the moment. We're going to close that up in a minute. Okay, so for those who've got to where we are, because we are still going to hand stitch again, I had to add that again. From where our satin is, so I'm going to do it here, from where, yeah, that's better. From where our satin is, I would like us to measure 2 inches, right? And what you can do, you can go around and just measure 2 inches all the way around if you want to, or you can eyeball it. I like to measure myself, so you have an accurate stitch. Just go all the way around. Can you see what I'm doing on my own satin? Just measuring it. Obviously, I'm using black Sharpie so you guys can see what I'm doing. In the real world, I would not be using a Sharpie. I would be using Tailor Chalk. But if I use Tailor Chalk, you guys won't see it. So I'm just measuring 2 inches all the way around. And once I've done the 2 inches, you can get your ruler or just join it together like this.
Sorry, Abby and Fam, for the 22 inches one, so what are we putting in? What are we marking on the other side?
I would say 1 inch because 22 is quite small.
Small, okay.
Is that the inner part?
Yes, because I think
I would say because it's small, it's a small height. I would say 1 inch. And the only reason why we're doing this is that we want to add our elastic inside this.
Inside it, okay.
Yeah, so we want to add our elastic. And once we've done that, we can just draw around, all the way around, and get our needle out. And what is it called again? Is it called a back stitch? And just go in. I'm going to do what I did before because I want you guys to be able to see my stitch. And just go round and pull. And literally you're just going to go around and stitch it. Go. Just keep going round. For those who have almost got to this stage, we're just gonna do a stitch all the way around. For the 22 size bonnet, you will be just taking in 1 inch, and for the 29 inches, you'll be taking in 2 inches. Does that make sense? But I'll repeat myself when you guys get to where we are. Okay. My thread decided to tangle on me, but it can be undone. And literally, there we go. And turn it around. There was a lady, her mom passed away during COVID-19, and there was a material her mom gave her, and she asked me if I could make a bonnet out of it for her, which I did, and she was really, really over the moon. Like,
So that would be like a memorial for her.
yeah, it's so sentimental, and it was really nice. And one of the things I would say is, feel free to ask any questions. If I've gone too fast, please just let me know. Irene is so approachable. I've not seen, she's a rare gem. That's all I can say about Irene. And just keep going round. Any questions?
I was just talking to myself. I didn't know I was muted. Once again, I want to thank everyone for joining. This project is a 4 weeks project. We started with learning how to measure and also learning different stitches, which we're using one of it today, running stitches. The first 2 projects was run by Dewey's Creation. She's here on the platform as well. And the last one was facilitated by me, and it was how to make a simple sketch. For the benefit of people that could not join, they are all recorded events. So I'm going to share all the recorded clip. I was waiting for us to finish today's one, which is the last one for this project, so I could share the 4 recorded videos on this project. So it's quite nice to see that we've really learned a lot within these 4 weeks, and today will be coming to an end. This event has been sponsored by Arnold Clark Community Fund. And over to you, Abby and Fam, and I hope that we're able to do the hair bonnets today. And if you can't, with the video, you will be able to do yours later. So over to you, Abby and Fam.
Thank you, Irene.
You're welcome.
So all I'm doing, ladies, is just doing my stitches all the way around, which I think I have almost got there. And the reason why my stitches are very visible is because I want you guys to see what I'm doing. Otherwise, I would make them a little bit smaller. But I'm gonna wear this hair bonnet, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just stitching away. Make sure they're like not squeezed up or anything. And keep going round. How's everyone else getting on? Has everyone else turned it inside out? Was that one of my young princesses?
Yeah,
Yes, is that Esther or Priscilla?
Priscilla,
Priscilla, yes. How can I help you, darling?
I'm done.
You're done stitching the first stitch or the second stitch?
I think I'm done with everything, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Really? Wow, that is
like,
fantastic.
I want to be like Priscilla.
I'm telling you. Okay, so can you get your safety pin out?
Okay.
And your elastic.
Yeah.
And I wish I could say I'm done. I'm still hand stitching. I'm gonna say this all day, Irene.
Priscilla, did you use a machine?
No, if it's done machine, it's fine. Okay, you use the machine. No
if you want
wonder
to use your
you're
machine, you
faster.
can. I normally
you can.
use my machine, but I'm one of the things is that if we didn't have a machine near us, what would we use? And I think this is the whole point for this workshop.
Yeah.
Is, having what you have at home and make use of what you have.
Yeah.
You don't have to use African prints. You could use any type of material. The only thing I was told is that satin is really good for our hair type. So satin is very good to use inside. But you could do satin on satin and still cut the same amount of material out. And I've got a tiny little bit left just to do. And I'm also going to say what Priscilla said. I'm done doing everything. I really love the way you said that, darling. And our bonnet is almost done.
How are we supposed to like involve the elastic in how we're sewing the bonnet?
Okay. Priscilla?
Yeah?
Could you give me 2 minutes? And I mean 2 English minutes.
Okay.
All right? It should take me 2 minutes to finish off here. And I will be able to say what you just said. I'm done sewing everything. Which I am looking forward to saying.
I think we should be.
Okay. I think that's my 30 seconds gone. I'm on my last minute. And I can say, Priscilla, say it for me.
Done.
Priscilla, please say it for me. I love the way you said, I am what?
Done.
Done. Thank you, darling. Say it one more time.
Done.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I won't see that needle for a very long time. Okay, so I've done a quick stitch around mine. The open place, you remember we had a place where we had open?
Yeah.
The 3-inch open.
Yeah.
We are going to look for that, which mine is somewhere. Hide him. Mine is here. And what I'm going to get now is my safety pin and my elastic. Now, let me measure my elastic so I give you the right amount of what I am going to use. I would say you would need about, because we're going to tie it and sew it, I would say take about 24 inches of your elastic. You won't use all of it, but you'll use most of it. For the young ones, my lovely princesses online, if you guys could measure about 16. So literally all I've done here is I've got my elastic. Priscilla, we're done. So let's finish off. So I've got my elastic and I'm just gonna put my safety pin on through it to hold it like that. And my opening part, I'm just going to, now one of the things I do, I get a pin and I put a pin on the entrance. So whatever you do, you don't lose it. And I just pin the other end down. So one pin is on my satin with the new one. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. And the other one, the safety pin is on that. The reason why I do this is sometimes when we pull too hard and all the elastic goes in. And where we stitch now, we're just gonna go inside it and then pull our elastic all the way through. All the way through. You see what I'm doing? The safety pin is just pushing everything down for me.
My elastic is wider. Does that really matter?
It doesn't matter. Any elastic will do. With the wider one, you will have to stitch it. With my one, I can actually just tie it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to sew the end of the elastic onto the material and then sew the other end onto the material again?
No. All we're doing is putting the safety pin on the elastic and pushing our elastic through that stitch. So that stitch with your hat, it would be 1 inch. You're putting your stitch through that your elastic through that that 1 inch. For the older people, for the 29-inch ones, you'll be putting it through the 2 inch.
What if you don't have a safety pin though?
You could use a hairpin. I've used a pen in the past.
I finished putting my elastic in.
Okay, so for the ones who finished, you should have something like this. And then all we're going to do is adjust it to the size we want. Now, one of the things about putting elastic on your head is that you want to be able to breathe. When I say breathe, you want your skin and your head to be breathing. If the elastic is too tight, then you're going to have headaches and you're just going to say, oh, I don't like this bonnet or anything. So don't make it too tight. Don't make it too loose. And as you can see, I think mine would be fine like this. And I'm going to take my elastic off. And this is why I said take about 22 inches. So you would have some space. You understand? I think that looks fine to me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a knot. Just a knot. Like that.
I'm done.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. For mine, that the elastic is wide, I can't tie it.
For you, you can't tie. So what you will
sew
have to do is get your needle and stitch it together.
Together, yeah.
Yeah, if we were using the sewing machine, then we'll stitch over it. But because we're not, I'm just gonna tie and then I'm gonna cut this off. I've tied twice or 3 times. And then we still got that open stitch open, haven't we?
Yeah.
So now we put the elastic inside and we're gonna do like a stitch. I think Sister Victoria spoke about invisible stitch. You could actually do an invisible stitch here, or you can just do the same stitch to cover it up. So I need my thread again. I thought that was the end of it, but one more time. And all we're doing now is just covering up the 3 inches that we left open in the beginning. And I tuck my thread inside, and I just do some hemming. And when you're doing it, you want to do it excuse me, you want to do it to the tip, just to the tip. Just to the tip. All I'm doing now is covering up my 3 inches that I left open. And bear in mind, we've used this for our stitch, for both of our stitches actually. And I can turn around and say, which
you're done.
I am done.
You are done.
Done. Hand stitching. And Priscilla, where are you, darling? Can you say that word for me again? I am done. You didn't say it. So you guys can now see my face. That's that woman talking. It's that woman chatting away. Do that. And voila. That's my hair bonnet.
Wow, wow, wow.
That's my hair bonnet. Wow. And you can just do the gathers around.
It looks very nice.
Thank you. Who was that? Priscilla?
That was Esther.
Esther, thank you so much. I want to see everyone else's.
We're almost done with ours. We still need to put the elastic through, Mommy.
How's everyone else getting on?
Closing my 3 inches, then I'm done as well.
Good. I love to hear that.
I'm done as well.
Wow. The pros are finishing.
I'm done.
Well done. Well done, everyone.
Auntie Victoria, we need to see you also. I want to spotlight everybody that is done.
Yeah, we'll actually take a picture.
You see that yours is really lovely. Well done.
Oh, I can't see it. Can you spotlight her, please?
Okay. Okay, I've just pinned her, and that is a beautiful material as well. That's Priscilla's.
Hold on. I'm not seeing Priscilla. My internet is so slow. Okay, put it on. Let's see, darling. Fantastic. Well done. Well done. That is really good. I like it.
Okay, this is mine.
Okay, let me pin and as well. Okay, you did yours is small. Is it for your kids?
Yeah, instead of 29 inches, I did 29 centimeters.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
that's for a little baby, but it's still good.
But it's still good, but at least the concept now I know what.
Yeah, it's really good. Well done.
Can we see the baby zone?
This is not point of contact, so it's just
let me say I didn't hear that. Auntie Victoria, I did a baby hair bonnet
for you.
Okay.
So this can even be a design on it. So
yeah, and Sister Victoria is prophesizing, you know. So she's prophesizing girls upon people's life on this platform today.
I'm wearing mine as well.
Yeah.
Let me see.
These are just the simple ones that just have gathers. There is one that we have to stitch twice inside, and then the stitch goes in between that stitch, and then that actually falls ruffles. But that one we'll do another day. But this one, good to
Auntie,
go.
can you see mine?
I
Yeah.
can see it.
I'll
It's
call you
red.
Red
Is it ready?
Dead
Well
Lion.
done. Well done.
Lovely, lovely material.
It's really nice. Well done, Irene. Right. Well done, everyone.
Auntie Vicky, another new skill, don't join them.
Yes, now.
We've upgraded. I can boldly organize a hair bonnet workshop. Thank you, Abby and Farm.
You're
Vicky, in my own, I want it studded, pinned, everything for Christmas. So
me, I will spoil everything with stones.
Please. You could actually put rhinestones all over them.
Petals, anything.
Feathers.
I'm loving my hair bonnets. And I like the fact that it's not too tight as well.
Yes,
yeah,
it's
your shape.
I like the fact that it's roomy. It's roomy. It's big.
Yeah, the rhinestones.
Yeah. Wow, lovely.
The paper stones on them, if you want to.
You can. You know how you can do this one? Can just be on the edges.
Yeah, just round.
And it's two-sided as well. You could wear the
exactly.
or the shiny bits.
So you've got the satin, which is advised to wear at night, and then you've got the African.
People wear it out now. They go out with this.
I've seen them wearing it. Oh my God, these youngsters.
Thank you, Abby and Farm. Once again, I want to thank everyone for joining. It's sad to say, but this is the end on this program. But we look forward to other workshops. Abby and Farm does a lot as well in terms of empowering young people through skills. So we'll be sharing different opportunities for people to learn new skills for free, from making key holders to making purse and hair bonnet as well, and how to make dresses, skirts, and so on. Thank you all for joining. We appreciate you for being here today. I'm so excited, truly. You know, sometimes you, when you teach, you don't know, like, you can as well learn. I've never done a bonnet before, so I'm glad I've made something for myself as well. Yes, and I'm ready to also make for people for Christmas. That reduces my expenses in terms of buying gifts. So I could buy a lot of African prints for £10 and make a lot of hair bonnets from it. Yeah. So we've all learned something new today, and I hope we run with it. So it's not all about learning how to make hair bonnet, it's what you do afterwards. That's the main important thing. So Caroline said, thank you, really enjoyed. And as I said, this event has been recorded. So if you did not partake in the practical, I'll be sharing the video later today or tomorrow. All the 4 that we've done so far, I'll be sharing it on our platforms and WhatsApp broadcasts as well. So you get the video again. Yeah.
For the ladies who came from my end, if you share it with me, I'll forward it on to them.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I just wanted to ask, Yabo, how did you get on? Maybe she's no longer here. Anyway, over to you. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Who else is done and wants to show us what we have done? And we will still give Abby and Farm maybe another 10 minutes for her to run through. Then we'll call it a day. We've really done well with time. And yeah, do anyone wants to show us what they've done? If they've done theirs, please feel free to turn on your camera and show us your hair bonnet. Like, I think Esther is almost done with hers as well.
We're just trying to put the elastic in, and then we'll show you in a minute.
I would love to see Esther's. So Abby and Farm, you can run it through again for the next few minutes as we wait for others to be done. With
okay. So for the ones who came on a bit late, the hair bonnet is an African, we're using African, so you'll see my hands and not my face anymore. Okay, so what you are going to measure, you're going to get your tape measure, and you are going to measure with your African prints and your sateen, sandwich the right side together, and you will be measuring 29 by 29. So 29 on your, let me get my white paper out again, easier showing. So 29 on the length up here, and then 29 on the breadth, right? And once you've done the 29 by 29, you'll hear tailors say 5 by 5, 6 by 6. All that means is 29 on this side and 29 on this side. And once you've done that, sandwich your material together, fold it into two. Fold it into two, like that. And then fold it again into 4. And on the top bit, I call it the top bit, I would like you, let me get, I think you should be able to hear. Can you see it with that, or it's not showing? Does that show, Irene, the red? Okay, so this side here, I do not want you to cut from. You would then get your tape measure, and you would measure 13 inches. So you would go 13 on that side. So from here, from that point I said do not cut. You then lift up your index finger on there, and then you'll move it around.
Abby, I can push your paper forward a bit because we're not seeing the very edge of that.
Okay, yeah.
Forward a bit.
Okay,
Forward.
let me do it this way. It's easier. It's easier. So, can you see it now?
No, still push it forward. We're still not seeing the here like that.
Okay,
okay, so 13 inches on one. Get your chalk. I'm using this so you guys can see it, and measure. Keep your index finger and move round and measure another 13. 13 all the way round. 13 all the way round. And once you've measured your 13, just cover my pen. Now, I said this in the beginning, whatever you do, do not use your tailor scissors to cut paper. I've done it before and you won't like it. Just join those marks together and get your paper and then cut it out. And just cut that out. Cut it out. Have you noticed I did not cut where I marked up here? I did not cut that. And if I open this out now, I have got a circle. And that circle, what you are going to do now, just 1 inch stitch all the way around the tip. Stitch all the way around. All the way around. Leave 3 inches open. So here I've left open. I stitch all this way around. Yep. With my hand needle. I say again, hand needle. And then once you've done that, you stitch all that round, you will now turn your material inside out. So the right side now be out. So I've turned it inside out, and then I have something like this. And what I then did is I measured from the tip, I measured 2 inches. So let's say this is my 2 inches. And then I sewed all that round, all the way around. Again, with, what is it again? My hand needle. Okay. And I left that, actually no, stitch all the way around, but you still got that guide open. Then you get your safety pin and you go inside this. You're going inside this with your safety pin and coming out of here. And then you're gonna pull all your thread together, your elastic together, tie it or hand stitch it. And then you will close up your gap, pull out your gathers, and that's your hair bonnet done. That is very easy. I hope everyone has enjoyed today, and I hope I explained it very well.
We didn't hear the last part of what you said.
Okay, so the last part is where you put the elastic in.
Yes.
And you put the elastic in, and it comes out of this side. Let me move back. It comes out of here, and then you can tie a knot or you can hand sew, and then close up the 3 inches that you left open.
Oh.
And that's your hair bonnet done.
Okay, that's actually really easy. Thank you.
No problem. And the video would be there for Irene. Irene will share the video too. Once again, thank you, Irene, for the opportunity.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Abby and Fam. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We appreciate you all. Joseph, Kezi said, thank you so much. I'm glad I'm part of it. It's one of the most therapeutic and easy, fun, loving hand sewing I've ever seen. Wow.
Oh,
yeah, it's quite nice to see that we're able to make what we're wearing with our hands. So I want to say thank you everyone for joining as well. Somebody said great idea. Yes, you can actually make fortune from what we've learned today. More women say thank you, Auntie Abby and Farm, and thank you, Irene. Someone else say thank you, really enjoyed. And someone else say thank you. Priscilla said thank you. Who else? Kate says, so used to my sewing machine, I struggled to thread a needle, laugh out loud, but it's all good. I want to appreciate everyone for joining. Thank you, Abby and Fun, for facilitating this workshop. I've learned how to make hair bonnet myself, and I'm proud. I'm actually wearing this tonight. And once again, I want to say thank you to the sponsors of this program, Arnold Clark Community Fund, for giving us the opportunity to run this program for 4 weeks. I'm going to share the videos of our previous workshop, and this is the 4th one for this project, and is the last. Once again, thank you for joining. I've got your contacts. We'll keep in touch or stay in touch. Any new projects, I'll keep you all posted on it. So that's how we're going to call it a day today. But before we do, we would like to see Esther's hair bonnet. And if you have any comment, anything you want to say or add to what we've done today, some of us here are experts and guru. If there's anything you want to say that we could do differently, we're open to it. And if you're expecting us to do anything later that you want to learn, but you don't know how to do it, you can say it as well. We'll try and organize workshops for whatever you want to learn. For those that have joined again, we want to say thank you. We're waiting for Esther's. After Esther's one, we'll call it a day. Wow, Esther's one is looking very beautiful.
Wow.
Priscilla, well done as well. You're really fast. Well done to everyone that.
Fantastic.
Well, let me pin
done,
Esther, because I want to see. Yeah, Esther is pinned. Esther's one looks exactly like mine. Well, Esther, that's beautiful. Wow, wow, wow.
Well done, Esther.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, David.
You see the hard work. Well done. He dragged you into it.
For you to organize face cap work for David, though.
It's a family face cap. Auntie Victoria, are you hearing? It's a family workshop.
Yes, face cap workshop now because of David and other boys.
I'm telling you, he said, I don't want bonnet. Oh, what can I get? I said, we'll have to find something to do. And
face cap, we'll do face cap. No, he's still going to do t-shirts, okay. So don't worry.
Thank you, ma. We look forward to it.
This is beautiful. I love Esther's.
Well done, Priscilla. Well done, Esther.
Well done, Esther. Well done, everyone that did the practical today. Well done, Irene.
Thank you, Abby and Pam.
It took a minute to understand you were saying well done to yourself.
You know
Thank
what?
you, Abby. We enjoyed the
Irene,
workshop. It was really, really nice. Well
oh,
explained.
thank you. Thank you. Can I just say to everyone, thank you for joining tonight. And I must say, you guys have made my life easy because I had very good attentive students tonight. So thank you to all of you. And I can see the work. So I will keep doing what I'm doing. I'll do it at my best. And I love you guys. So well done.
Thank you, Abby and fam. So good night, everyone. See you on our next